So Hillary Clinton decides that amongst all this craziness that's going on with the buying of votes by the Democrat Party, of course, in particular, Joe Biden, and trying to expand drop boxes and trying to expand ballot harvesting, Hillary Clinton, what does she do? She's convincing her people on her side of the aisle that it's actually the other side that is trying to change the outcome of election and do so illegally. So we have a clip, actually two clips. This is a tweet that she tweeted out. It's almost hard to believe, ladies and gentlemen. It's fascinating that she's back, but it just shows you how badly she wants to be president of the United States. And we have the first of two tweets on this. Here's the first one.
Hello, Indivisibles. I'm here to highlight something that is keeping me up at night. And I know this group really understands what I'm about to say. I know we're all focused on the 2022 midterm elections, and they are incredibly important. But we also have to look ahead, because you know what? Our opponents certainly are. Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election. And they're not making a secret of it. The right-wing controlled Supreme Court may be poised to rule on giving state legislatures, yes, you heard me that correctly, state legislatures the power to overturn presidential elections. Just think, if that happens, the 2024 presidential election could be decided not by the popular vote or even by the anachronistic Electoral College, but by state legislatures, many of them Republican-controlled.
So that's Hillary Clinton, ladies and gentlemen. The same person from the same party who called Republicans insurrectionists. By the way, all MAGA Republicans, insurrectionists, regardless of whether you were in D.C. on January 6th or not in D.C. on January 6th, whether or not you were one of those persons who walked into the Capitol or broke into the Capitol, or whether you were one of those persons who was there January 6th and had nothing to do with that. She's lumping everybody together. And these are the same people, the Democrats, who are saying the Republicans are insurrectionists. And literally, she's talking about the Republicans stealing the election. It's just, I don't understand it. And then she uses this term, indivisibles. I mean, it used to be deplorables, what she used to use. But this time it's indivisibles, because apparently this is an organization, which we're going to talk about, by the way, in a minute. But it's Hillary Clinton. And she says that Republicans have a, quote, plan to literally steal the next election. And that how dare those Republicans, or anyone for that matter, have state legislatures have the final say on elections. Folks, it's in the Constitution. That is what state legislatures are supposed to do. Elections are run by the states, each of the individual states. And the state legislatures decide how those elections are run. How long there's early voting, if there even is early voting, whether or not there are drop boxes, whether or not there is voter ID, whether or not there is voting by mail, whether or not there are ways to verify whether the person who put the ballot in the mail actually voted the ballot through signature matches. The states get to decide this. So the Democrats, of course, don't believe in the United States Constitution because they don't believe that the states should decide elections. The Democrats believe they should decide on elections, that Congress should decide, that there should be a single national election, that there ought not be the Electoral College. You want proof of this? Hillary Clinton, the person the Democrat Party believed was the moderate Democrat running for office when she ran against Barack Obama in the primary, Listen to this second part of the same tweet in which she says about this entire issue. You won't believe it. Here it is.
But there's also good news in the face of this very real threat to democracy. Indivisible has launched Crush the Coup to make sure we're ready to defend democracy in 2024. They've put together a list of critical races in 6 key states and how you can get involved. Will you support Crush the Coup by donating to Indivisible and state legislature candidates? Each of these races is highly competitive, and your dollars could very well decide the winners and the winner of the next presidential election.
So that's Hillary Clinton believing that you shouldn't have state legislatures run elections, yet she wants you to help her get more people who are Democrats to run and win in state legislatures. She also believes that the Electoral College is an anachronistic system, which is what she said in the first tweet. Think about that. She wants more people to be elected to state legislatures because they don't matter, yet the Electoral College is anachronistic because that's how she lost when she ran for office, through the Electoral College, which we've discussed before in previous podcasts. We probably should certainly spend another podcast on this, maybe even with folks from the Convention of States. The Article 5 Convention of States, which would be states getting together, agreeing to have an Article 5 Convention of States and voting for common sense constitutional amendments that strengthens our American democracy. I think Hillary is realizing that the power, actually, because of the Supreme Court and because of the United States Constitution, you combine those two together, that the power is shifting back to the state legislatures where it should have always been. Power should have rested with the state legislatures and with the people. Hillary's finally realizing that, and I think she's realizing that the Convention of States is actually gaining steam. And since it is gaining steam, it might be well time for more Democrats to start winning in states, because the Convention of States is moving and advancing towards their goal of getting enough states to get together to then call a Convention of States. So what is this organization that she refers to, Hillary Clinton, in her tweet? It's called Crush the Coup, a Threat to Democracy. Well, the organization is actually called Indivisible. And it says, when you pull up the website, "We beat Trump, now let's save democracy." Here's another, right on their first page of their website. "MAGA has a plan to steal the election in 2024. We have to stop them today." Can you imagine? These are the same people that are having January 6th hearings and have been having them for a couple of years, and they're talking about this nonsense. "Defend Democratic majorities and stop MAGA extremism. How to flip the script on MAGA mayhem." You know what? Let's click through that. Let's click through that one. How to flip the extremism. Let me see. It says here, "It's no secret we love guides here at Indivisible. After all, it's how this movement got its start 5 years ago. The guide is a little different, though, and we want to be upfront about that. Over the last several weeks, Indivisible has been working with groups in Pennsylvania and Arizona to pilot some of its work, learn lessons, adjust plans, and offer our best advice to you as your group thinks about the work ahead of November. The guide is a first attempt, so basically it's a guide of how to get people elected, and there isn't enough time to do that tonight, but it just says, who is the guide for? It's for you. If you are already part of an Indivisible group, these tactics will help your group build a narrative for both national and local races." In other words, the Democrats don't have policies that they can sell. They want to create a narrative. In other words, they want to lie. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your modern Democrat Party under Hillary Clinton. I can't say this enough. I can't say this enough about her. She was supposed to have been the moderate choice of the Democrat Party. And this individual still wants to be the Democrat nominee for president. You can just see it in her eyes. and she seems actually sick when you see her. She actually looks to me when she's speaking as someone who's so power crazed and power hungry. She can never be trusted with power, because she's so far left wing that she believes in completely upending the Constitution, getting rid of the Electoral College, getting rid of the purpose of states, and basically having a country that has no differences between any of the regions, and everybody has to live under her autocratic rule. It's just, we'll cover this again, Chris, this Electoral College stuff, because it's extremely important. And good old Hillary Clinton. Let's just play this last tweet. Let's play the first tweet of her one more time, and we'll finish with that to close out Mark and the Millennials. Listen to this.
Hello, Indivisibles. I'm here to highlight something that is keeping me up at night. And I know this group really understands what I'm about to say. I know we're all focused on the 2022 midterm elections, and they are incredibly important. But we also have to look ahead, because you know what? Our opponents certainly are. Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election. And they're not making a secret of it. The right-wing controlled Supreme Court may be poised to rule on giving state legislatures, yes, you heard me that correctly, state legislatures the power to overturn presidential elections. Just think, if that happens, the 2024 presidential election could be decided not by the popular vote or even by the anachronistic Electoral College, but by state legislatures, many of them Republican-controlled.
That's the best the Democrats can offer, is far left, out of control, Hillary Clinton, who looks so power crazed in this video that it is absolutely frightening. She wants to be the king of America. And that's the last word for Mark and the Millennials. Thank you for joining Mark and the Millennials. This is Mark Fisher. Thank you to our producer, Christopher Hopkins. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, True Social, Rumble, and our website. See you next time.